Today we're going to learn to do a little formatting on the computer. The first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to type in my name, and you will type in your first and last name. Alright, the next thing I want to do is I'm going to highlight this. I'm going to come up here, and on my Home tab, I want to use a larger font. So let's put it on 20 font, and let's change what type font it is. Let's go down, and let's use Harrington. Alright, now that we have it on Harrington and 20 font, let's put it on bold. Now we're going to move it to the center of the page. If you look up here, you have left, center, and then right alignment. And this one, it justifies across the page, so it distributes your text evenly. Alright, I want this centered. I'm going to click outside my name so it's not selected anymore. I'm going to enter down twice, and then I'm going to put it back on left aligned. Alright, the next thing I'm going to do is I want to insert a table. So we're going to go to Insert, Table, and I'm going to do just 2 columns, and for what we're doing, 8 rows. Alright, I'm going to put in teachers, and then subject. And now you will fill in your teachers and your subjects for your class schedule. Alright, now that we have all of that information typed in, we're going to come and we're going to actually format this. So when we click on our table, what's going to happen is you're going to see the table tools pop up. So we can come up to Design. We can scroll down and see the different designs on here. And we can find one that we like. Since we have our heading in there, I'm going to use this one because this is going to separate it. We have a nice separated top from the rest of our table. And I'm going to highlight these 2. I'm going to come to my home. I'm going to go ahead and just center those. So now our table is nicely formatted. I'm going to come down. I'm going to enter again. So what we're going to learn next is we're going to learn how to use our subscript and our superscript. So let's type in H2O. I'm just going to go ahead and change this font back. We're going to put it on, we can do Calibri, or let's go to Times New Roman instead. Let's go down to Times New Roman. Okay, Times New Roman, and let's do 12 font. We can take that bold off as well. Okay, now H2O, we all know that that's water. Well, this 2 should be a small 2. This should be a subscript. So what I'm going to do is only highlight the 2. I'm going to click on this button. Now we have H2O, so we have our formula. I'm going to enter down. Now I'm going to type in first. Well, if we hit the space bar, we notice that it automatically makes the ST small, which is a superscript. But what I want it to do is we're going to take this off because I need to know that you can take it off. So we'll highlight it, click this button, and we'll make it a regular text. So right now, this is all that we should have done. Alright, now we want to do columns. So I'm going to highlight my information, and instead of having one column, I'm going to put them over here. If you notice, you can see that this goes all the way across. We're going to go to Layout, Columns, with my information highlighted. I'm going to click on 2. Okay, as you can see now, we have columns. We have a column here and a column here. Well, how do I get this information from over here to over here? Well, the way that we get it in this next column is we're going to put our break right here. And so we're going to go to breaks. We want a column break, and that puts our information on the other side. So I'm just going to hit delete and take out that space. Now we're wondering, how do we know, and where are we, and what does this look like? Well, if we come to home and we go and click on this formatting, it says show hide. It will not print. It just shows us when you see this mark, this is when you have hit the enter button. It gives you dots for spaces and then any hidden format that you might not see. So I'm going to hit the enter button. Well, I don't want to keep two columns going all the way down my paper, so I now need to make it one column. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight down, because I don't need to do it right here because I'm in the column, still in the line. So I'm going to enter down 1 where there's no information on this line. Then I'm going to go back to layout and I'm going to click column and 1. And that did not do what it was supposed to do. Let's try again. There we go. All right. So now we have an automatic section break, and we look up at the top, we now have one column. All I did was, when it went on the other page, I just hit Control Z, which is basically edit and undo, and then I just did it again, and then it was right. So now, if I wanted to continue with columns, I could come in here and enter down, and I would still be in this first column. I could come over here, I could still work, and we would still have two columns. And you can see it up at the top. But I'm done with that, so I want it to go across the whole page so I can have my text. If you want to take these off, this looks too confusing or too cumbersome, you can always just click on this and remove it. But for formatting, you usually want that in there so you can see what's going on, because otherwise your information will be messed up and you won't see what's happening. So you can see where these breaks are, and then you can change things accordingly. The next thing we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and turn these off just for a moment. And what I want to do is I want to have different formatting. I'm just zooming out. I'm holding the control key and I'm rolling the ball backwards on my mouse, and that zooms me out. All right, because I want to see the whole page. I'm going to hit Control Enter. That puts in a whole nother sheet of paper. That puts in a page break. Well, now I want you to be able to flip this page sideways without flipping this page. So while I'm down here, I'll just kind of highlight. There's nothing there. I'll just kind of highlight and drag over. And then I'll go to Layout, Orientation, and then put it on Landscape. And let me hit Backspace. There we go, backspace twice. See, now we have a portrait and we have a landscape. If you don't put that page break in there, it's going to flip all of them the same direction. I'm going to zoom back in really quickly, and I'm going to type just a little paragraph, and I'm going to put some information on here, and then you're going to do the same. You will type it in, and then we're going to format it. All right, so I typed in some information. And what we want to do is I want to do a multi-level list so that this looks more organized and it's just easier to read. So I'm going to click on the Home tab, and I'm going to come up here to the top. Here are your bullets. Here's your numbering. And then here is your multi-level list. All right, so we want to create kind of an outline here. You can choose whichever one of these you like the looks of in any of these. Chapter, if it was a book. I'm just going to use this one right now. Okay, so we want to actually highlight all of this. All right, so now they're all on the same level. Well, that didn't do much. That didn't help us very much. So we're going to need these all up under it to be a sub-level. So we're going to need to bump these over and increase the indent. So move them over to the right. All right, well, I want to distinguish between my officers and then the actual officers, their names. Again, I'm going to highlight this information and bump it over to the right. Now we have FBLA, here are officers, and the list of who they are. Next, we're going to do a numbered list. So I'm just going to go ahead and enter on down. Once you hit enter, it'll keep bumping these down, and then it'll eventually take them away. If you don't want them and they're over here to the left, you can just click on the button to remove them, or you can hit and decrease the indent back to the left, or like I said, click on it and get rid of it. All right, so now let's do a numbered list. All right, so I just did a small list, so we're going to do these in order. All right, daily schedule, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And if you've noticed there's a gap between these that I don't have up here. Let's get rid of that really quickly. Let's highlight our information, and come up here, and we want to, you may see a space whether you need to remove here or here. This, we're going to remove a space after the paragraph so that it puts our information all in line here. Now, it's going to be daily schedule, and I want to number what I do first in my daily schedule. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to click on the number. And you can change these numbers. If you don't want them to look like this, you can even change your list here, your level. You can define your numbers. You can set the value. You can do a custom list, whatever you like the looks of. If you like it with the parenthesis, you can do that. So we're going to have a list of numbers here. Now we want to insert a text box. So let's come to Insert. We're going to go up here and click on Text Box. I'm just going to get the plain text box. And we're going to type in BCS for Business and Computer Science. Now this text box, we're going to change the style, the color, the line. As you notice, when we highlight it, the drawing tools pop up and we can format this box from here. So let's go change our font real quick. Let's put something bigger that we can really see. So we'll have to make our box larger, like that. And let's go ahead and let's center our information in the box. And then let's come up here. We're going to click on it when it makes the 4 arrows. Drag it over the line like that and click when it makes the 4 arrows. You're going to come to Format. And then here's your shape outline. The fill is inside. We're just going to do the outline. You can do the weight. You can make it thicker, thinner. You can change the color. You can make it dashed or dotted or however you like. And then let's choose a color. Okay. And you can just move it around wherever you want to put it, just like that. Okay. I want to show you a couple more things and then we're going to be done. I want to show you, let's go up here to Review. Now when you're typing in Word, a lot of times we need help with our spelling. So what I want you to do is you're going to screenshot this and you're going to crop it down. Drag your cursor over it and you'll see the little drop down. And as you can see, the F7, the F key on the top of your keyboard with the 7 beside it, you see those at the top? That's what you would click for your spelling and grammar check. But what I want to do is just screenshot it. So let's drag it over it. Look over, you see Delete, Insert, and then above that you'll see Screen. It says Print Screen. Click that button. Now we're going to put our cursor back down here and do Control V, which is paste. Well, this is huge. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on this. We want it to be in front of text, so let's click on that. So now we can move it freely. And I'm going to click on the picture. When I do, the format bar, the tab pops up. So let's go to crop and you'll see these handles. And we're going to format it down to just this picture here where it has what we were talking about. When you deselect it, you can look, you can make it larger, make your picture larger. Now you've told me about how to do it. Okay, so let's go back, review. Now you need to know a word count. Sometimes when you're at the teacher or your project may say you have to have so many words. But here's your word count button. All right, we're going to click on it and just see what it says. We're going to get our stats. Again, hit the print screen. All right, we can close it now and hit paste, which is Control V. We again will click on this. We'll put it in front of text. Click, come back up to the top, and we will crop this one back down as well. Use our little handles right here. Deselect, and then you can make it larger. So now we know your word count on your page. The last thing that we're going to do is a header and a footer. Now the header and footer, once you put them in there, will show up on every page. So we're going to click on the Insert tab. You're going to go to Insert, and we want a header and a footer. So for the header for this, we can just use this one. That'll be fine. And what we'll end up doing is we can move it to the middle. You can click here and put it in the center of your page. And you will type your first and last name, not mine, yours. Okay, just like that. Now let's look and go up. And here it is. This will repeat on every single page you have in here unless you remove it. All right, so you're going to come down. This is your footer. Now we're down in the footer, and I just click down here. Okay. Now here I'm going to type in, I'm just going to center it, BCS2, and put second project. All right, and we can center this information as well. We just pull that off, come home, and center, and now we can close. You can close your header. You can just click out, double click outside of it, and there it is. So this is all of your information that should be put on there. You have a table, you have columns. Again, you can come look at these if you like. We've changed our font. We have done subscript, superscript. We have done text boxes, formatting. We have done bullets and numbers, and we know how to do spelling and word count. We've screenshotted and done a header footer. So you've gotten a big workout in this lesson. Good luck.